Hey guys, today we'll be reviewing the Lenovo Chromebook Duet. Okay, so this is a real cool Chromebook. So it is the form factor of a tablet with a keyboard attached running Chrome OS. And that's pretty cool because Chrome OS is relatively light. It's actually lighter than Android. So let's take off the keyboard and take a look at the design. So the front is a 10.1-inch display. And it is very bright, coming at around, I believe, 300 nits, and it is an LCD panel. So, let's take off the back and plop it on down. So, on the very bottom, we got some pogo pins. Let me just turn off the display. We got some pogo pins, nice gold pogo pins to connect to the keyboard, no Bluetooth enabled. Now let's look at the sides. We have a volume rocker and a powered texture button, or a textured power button, I meant. This is the USB Type-C port and a microphone jack. It's got stereo speakers, which is really nice. We have nothing on that side, and yeah. So, we will take a look more at the design. Okay. So let's take a look at the accessories that come in the box. So one thing I want to mention right before that, this is a $270 device. Keep that in mind as I tell you about the stuff and the specs on this thing. So, one thing I am a little bit disappointed with the Chromebook Duet is that there's only one USB Type-C port. And yes, that is acceptable for a tablet, but not quite for a Chromebook. Okay, let's take a look at the back. It's got a nice little camera and a Lenovo sticker, not too intrusive. Personally, I do like this because it does remind me a little bit of the iPad Pro form factor, except at the edges. One big problem I noticed at the edge, the glass to the aluminum is not as nice as it should feel. But again, that goes away with the case. And let's get into that. The case and the keyboard come in the box. That is quite unheard of in the tablet slash Chromebook world of today. So yes, this Chromebook is 1 year old, coming out of like 2020. So yes, it is 1 year old. But the thing is, when I tell you about the specifications of this thing, you won't be quite as worried. And this thing comes with 8 years worth of software support. So I wouldn't be too worried about the age. So let's look at the back. It has like a mesh to it, like a couch, I would say. A fancy little couch with a cutout for the camera, because yes, it does have a camera on the back, as I showed before. So this has a really cool feature, which it should obviously have. I'm not going to say, again, I shouldn't have said cool. It means more like a necessity. So this has a kickstand, and I'm quite disappointed in other tablet slash Chromebook manufacturers that don't have this built in. Like, you can buy certain other ones and they don't have this built in. Like, why not just add a stand? It's not that hard. And the cool thing is that this is connected to the Chromebook magnetically. Yes, that's awesome. And one thing with the case is that it doesn't protect the sides. That is a real bummer. Let's get into the keyboard. So the keyboard is pretty nice. I always want to say that the tablet's pretty slim for a tablet. So yeah, the back also has like a rubbery mesh design with the little pogo pins at the top. So the front of it is really nice. So this comes with an either ISO or ANSI keyboard, French, or like any other ones, just like normal. So this is a pretty thick keyboard for tablet keyboard that comes in the box. Just want to make that clear. Comes in the box. So yeah, it's really awesome. It has a nice trackpad. It is not glass top, unfortunately, but then again, you can't really expect too much for around $279. This is not backlit. Again, it comes in the box, $279. Keep that in mind. So one problem I found with the keyboard is the backspace. They kind of cut off these keys. They cut them off because it's 10-inch 10.1 inch display, right? So, yeah. It is still pretty nice to use. The keys are really tactile, and they don't feel cheap. This is made of plastic, but the plastic that they use seems to be high quality. Okay, so I'm gonna pop on the thing, and I'll talk to you about the specifications. So let me quickly pop the case on, and I'll show you the magnetics. So the actual magnets are quite strong. Like, I would feel totally fine just holding it right here and not being worried that it's gonna come off, because it won't, unless you're like super duper duper angry or something. So the actual keyboard, the mouse is very responsive, as you can tell, and the switching between tablet mode and keyboard mode is very cohesive. Takes a little reboot, and it's good. Has tablet-like gestures, so yeah. Okay, sorry for the delay. Let's talk about the specs. So this is a 1920 by 1200 IPS display, full HD, just for, pixel patrol. It has an integrated ARM G72 mobile graphics due to the amazing star of the show, MediaTek Helio P60T processor. Now you may think, well, that is not no Intel Core i3 or whatever. Then again, you look at Chromebooks, you look at tablets at this price point, you are not getting anything even close to this processing power. Again, not the fastest thing in the world, but it's great for, average work, watching Netflix, streaming videos, and whatnot. I got around 6 hours of battery usage at full brightness. At around half brightness or adaptive brightness, I got it around 10 hours. So, that's Cocoa Melon. So yeah, let's talk about how big the battery capacity is. So battery life is one of the big strong suits in this, because this has a whopping 7,000 milliamp hour battery. And because this comes with 4 gigs of LPDDR4X RAM, this is a very battery efficient device. It's running Chrome OS. It has a lower end processor, again not super slow, and it has lower RAM. So this is like an all day device. Charging it at night, and it comes with a 10-watt adapter in the box. Comes also with a headphone jack splitter, because unfortunately there is no headphone jack, which is super duper super sad to see this trend continue on. Phone manufacturers, tablet manufacturers, please don't get rid of it. I still think that it is a needed thing. I don't think everyone has wireless headphones just to carry around. I mean, maybe in the future, but not right now. This comes with 128 eMMC ROM, aka storage. So you can get it in the 64 gigs, but there's no SD card slot. So I would recommend getting the 128 gigs, because if you're using many profiles, that storage can be filled up extremely easily. So yeah. The front has a 2 megapixel front-facing selfie shooter. The back has an 8 megapixel shooter that has autofocus. Again, I'm going to show you this. Give me one moment. So as you can see, the camera is not the best. I would definitely not recommend this in any situation. Even the Dollarama cameras are better than this. Please don't be that person who takes picture with a tablet in the crowd. Especially because this tablet camera is really bad. So the USB Type-C is Gen 2, and surprisingly, it has Dolby Atmos speakers, so it does sound okay. Again, just enough to watch some media, but not trying to listen to some hardcore music when you're sitting on the couch eating. This comes at 450 grams, so it's pretty light, and the only color variation is the one I have in front of me. By the way, this thing has been selling a lot, so it's one of the most beloved Chromebooks in the whole lineup, so that just says something. If you take a look at Chrome books ads, this is the one that's in them. If you've ever noticed, this is the one. Like in Google's official ads, they don't usually use the Pixel Slate. In the ones I've seen, the ones like, and Lenovo didn't make this, Google did. They have this Chromebook in it. I mean, that just says something right there, right? So most Chromebooks that try to be tablets are like really fail at it, like fail hard because they can't get the perfect mix. But this one is like one of the first ones to get that really well because, well, there are two problems with the mix. So on Windows devices, for example, the Surface Go 2, Surface Go's, or just Surface products, or 2-in-1s or whatever, they just aren't centered toward tablet use. It's more like, hey, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to watch a movie, or like watch a video or whatever, and then, or do work, yeah, anything, and I want to tap something on my screen and, be able for it to register. This is not, Windows device, for example. You don't really want to have to grab your 2-in-1 laptop and close it up or take off the keyboard and sit down and watch some Netflix on it because that's not what it's really meant for. I mean, I guess the actual company wants you to think that, but it's just not very nice to hold in your hands because of the sharp edges and just not very touch-friendly UI because everything's so small, whereas Chrome OS really has made some jumps to make the tablet experience way, way better. Because at the end of the day, you can download Google Apps. Full Google Apps. That is one of the main advantages when buying a Chromebook. You can get Google Apps. And this tablet, I would recommend over most Android tablets, other than gaming, if you just want to sit down and watch some Netflix or whatever, like on the cheap. Because you'll get 8 years of software updates. You know how important that is? That is extremely important in the days that Android manufacturers, especially for tablets, 3 to 4 years is considered extraordinary in terms of Android updates, and they don't even update them that often. This gets updated every 6 weeks. That is just amazing. One thing I want to mention is I noticed that the keyboard can get quite greasy in constant use. Again, this should not be your main device. I don't think this would be a great computer. Again, this does use, you can extend the display, which is an amazing feature that it should have. Again, a necessity. I shouldn't have called it a feature. A necessity. Okay, let's get into the speakers, because I guess you want to hear that as well. So let's pop on some songs. So yeah, pretty nice sounds. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, I really hope you did. Please hit that like and subscribe button. If this was informative in any way, shape, or form, please tell your friends or family who you think they would enjoy this channel or enjoy this tablet review, or if they could use a tablet. Or a Chromebook. Maybe this is a good option for them. Again, if you enjoy watching tech videos, it would be extremely helpful if you subscribed and liked, or even just checked out a little bit of my videos. I have a lot of other videos you can check out for cheaper devices on a budget and more high-end devices. So yeah, that's tech time. See you later.